Welcome to Governance Now. This is Gitanjali Minhas and you're watching Checks and Balances. There has been a surge in coordinated threats to airlines. As per a news report, between May 2024 and November so far, airlines received 900 threatening messages, out of which 600 were posted on social media platform X. According to CISF, the agency in charge of security at commercial airports, in the last 2 months alone, more than 1,000 domestic and international flights were delayed, causing losses of rupees 500 crore due to hoax messages received on calls, emails, and social media platforms. When a threat is received, the airline is bound to follow the standard operating procedure as per international standards, take it down, take it to the nearest airport, get the threat verified. Except for threats made by anti-India, pro-Khalistani elements, most of these threats were made with malicious intentions for fear-mongering, playing a prank, or other such frivolous reasons. Threats have also been made to blow up schools, hospitals, five-star hotels, to disturb public safety and law and order. This apart, the increasing number of digital frauds and crimes taking place on a daily basis raise serious concerns on digital security. Praveen Dixit, retired Director General of Police Maharashtra, has says,
these calls, they are basically receiving on either X, Meta, Facebook, and WhatsApp, Instagram, and avoid any detection. They are coming from this voice over internet protocol or VoIP. So that makes it technically difficult to understand or find out who is who. Even then, efforts are there. The social platforms have to cooperate with the legal authorities. Before these calls are put on the social media, they should be identified, detected, and communicated to the law enforcing authorities, or in the case of India, like say Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, or the airline concerned. The cooperation must be seen in real time before the damage takes place. Even after telling the social platforms to remove these calls from their social platforms, the things are not happening as speedily as it should be. These platforms, as you know, they are in US or Canada. Whether it is pornography, whether it is pedophilic things, whether it is cryptocurrency, whether it is terrorist incidents, darknet, or drugs, or these kind of hoax threats. Secondly, see, these persons who are using these platforms, their accounts are not verified. Most of them, they are fake. Brazil, Russia, or China, various other places. The countries have taken very stringent steps against these social media, but we do not want to go to that extent. We hope that the situation can be controlled with the cooperation and help from these social platform. Government has been considering an act to prevent these hoax threats calls and bring a law against it. But that has been pending for so many years. Time has come when the government should be also quick in issuing an ordinance. When the parliament session meets again at the end of this month, bill can be introduced and the regular act can come in. Today we are finding that the situation is faced by India, but tomorrow it may be by any other country as well. ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, which generally governs all the rules, regulations about the aircrafts and about their flying, etc., has to come up, and all countries must comply with it. Because it is not a question of one or two countries, but the persons who are flying on these aircrafts may be belonging to multiple countries. There have been incidents earlier also when threats came, but they were not immediately acted upon, and the disasters took place.
with the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security setting up a committee called Bureau of Threats Action Committee. New norms have been issued on October 19. The committee is tasked to verify whether the threat is coming from a terrorist organization, who is the person or motive behind the attack, what is the socio-economic political situation in the country, etc., based on which it verifies whether the threat is specific or hoax. The committee, after a detailed analysis, declared that 510 calls received 16 days of October alone were actually hoax. The situation since then has improved significantly. Jiten, cybersecurity expert and director, Voyager Infosec, here says,
I think is not done by individuals because they are using proxies, they are using VPNs, they are using virtual exchanges. Somewhere down the line, it's a group of people protected or backed or sponsored or mentored by a hostile state which are doing it, especially when it comes to aviation sector in the schools. That's more to do with the national security. So I would consider it more as a coordinated planted attack or a denial of service attack on aviation sector by hostile actors sitting in a different geography. We need to fix a system of tracking the calls. Give a regulatory and technological response that no telecom operator will terminate a call on a landline or mobile phone if it is coming from a VoIP gateway which is not KYC verified or if it is not allowed. Most of these people use non-verified VoIP or personalized VoIP exchanges. For a random person to be able to set up a random VoIP gateway and then terminate a threat call on a mobile or a telecom network, that will stop. It may not be 100% foolproof, but still it will save 90 to 95% threats, and the time goes into it dealing with these fake threats.
India's transformative digital innovation now stands out globally. With over 60 crore Jan Dhan accounts, 600 million people have been brought into the formal banking network. Over 1 billion people now have unique identity Aadhaar, which is now linked to subsidies, bank accounts, telecom, and so many other things. UPI, India's instant payment system, is projected to handle 90% digital payments by 2027, from almost 80% today. Initiatives like DigiLocker and DigiYatra have made day-to-day lives more efficient and accessible. A report by Ask Capital says that India's digital economy will surpass $1 trillion by 2028 due to factors like spread of 4G and 5G, deepening mobile connectivity, and homegrown innovations like UPI. Despite such landmark strides, why is digital space unsafe?
Last 10 to 15 years, at the speed which we have digitalized our society, put our public services like subsidies, government schemes, tenders, certificates online, and the speed at which we have put the entire digital financial ecosystem in place by RuPay card, by QR code based payments, UPIs. At the same scale and speed, we have somehow not been able to, spread the awareness about cybersecurity and digital hygiene in our society. We are now today the largest smartphone population in the world. And out of this smartphone population, the worry is that around 50% people to 60% people have logged on to the internet for the first time in their lives, directly on the smartphone, which is like a ticking bomb. So their accounts are logged in, their banking system is linked to the internet. Considering this whole ecosystem which has been put in place in the last decade or so, we have not been able to impart cyber hygiene and digital security education to our society. And that is the reason even educated people in urban cities are falling prey to scams, OTP scams, identity frauds, identity thefts. If you look at the last 5 to 6 years, despite of having digital identity in place like Aadhaar with a biometric data authentication possible, our KYC system in banking and telecom has completely failed. Be it OTP scam, be it deepfake videos, digital arrest. At the heart of it all, scam lies fear-mongering, threat selling with an intention to grab money and con people. People are still able to open fake bank accounts, mule accounts, hire rented accounts.
Receiving fraud or scam calls, WhatsApp video calls, text messages, mails for investments, loans, online phishing, fraudsters posing as law enforcement officers, etc., on a daily basis has become common. Besides, online crimes like stalking, romance scams, and deepfakes are also increasing. RBI data says that between March 2023 and March 2024, digital financial frauds rose by 5 times to rupees 14.57 billion rupees.
People are investing in lakhs and crores. When they try to withdraw, they are told they cannot do it, and then the money is completely lost. Even if we are able to arrest these people, most of the money is transferred through hawala or cryptocurrency to countries outside. The source of these is either China, Pakistan, and now emerging the Southeast Asian countries also. There have been incidents, young Indian boys and girls, they have been attracted, lured to get a job in countries like Laos, Cambodia, and such places. And then once they reach there, for a period of more than 3 months, their passports are seized. They are provided illegal SIM cards. They will try to make international calls which appear from the Indian situation or Indian geographical region. They will lure you to dark rooms where they will show you the scenes of Supreme Court, or they will show you CBI, they will show you police officer, various things. This is all highly planned exercise by the anti-India criminals. If any call or any video call, either on WhatsApp or whatever it is received, please do not attend to it immediately. First, try to verify it, whether it is a genuine person or whether it is a spam. If you are convinced that yes, it may be a genuine thing, it may be a business call, then I would suggest you may call that person. Rather than as soon as the person calls you starting his dictates, avoid that situation. In case if you have taken the call and the person starts telling that there is a warrant against you, or I am a police officer, or I am a law enforcing officer, you are under digital arrest. So don't fall prey to it. This is all fake, totally wrong and non-existent situation of so-called digital arrest. Number 2, in case something has happened, you immediately ring up 1930. So please report to the nearest cyber police station, or to the local police station, or to any of these portals like Chakshu or cybercrime.gov.in, or these free numbers like 1930, and inform the concerned authorities so that necessary action can be started. Particularly Maharashtra, they have started a new free line recently called 14407. This is a new initiative started last month. Do not keep that incident only to yourself. Because of your ignorance or shame, nothing is going to happen to you. You are the victim. You don't have to be afraid of these criminals.
The Cybercrime Coordination Center under the Ministry of Home Affairs has reported an average of 7,000 daily cybercrime complaints in just first 4 months of 2024. Despite being listed on DND, spam calls are received from numbers starting 149, 171, 179, etc., etc. And when the person calls back on the number, it doesn't exist. While the TRAI is now categorizing bank, national, and institutional numbers to the respective formats, complaint and helpline numbers of authorities are mostly unresponsive.
There is an absolute lack of response on behalf of government by regulators. We have had so many agencies. None of them have been able to comprehensively respond to the cyber threats. The 1930 helpline, cybercrime.gov.in, all these wonderful initiatives do have come up in last 4 to 5 years, but they are now overrun with the number of complaints. These are good preventive measures, but what if you lose money? Then whom do you go? 1930, nobody picked up the helpline today. So if there are like 100 people operating that helpline, there are 10,000 people tried to call. So the system is collapsing under pressure and strain. So if you say that is police not effective enough to solve cases, obviously they do solve cases. But if there are 10,000 crimes and 5 police officers, what do you expect? It's not incompetence, it's lack of time and availability of resources, I would say. You need to have very strong regulatory response. You need to have very strong technological response, and you need to have very strong legal response. Number which is used for other service providers like WhatsApp, Telegram also ought to go. And if someone wants to continue under exceptional situations where a SIM is lost or something, they could be asked to do a re-KYC or a physical KYC. Bank account today, if you change the mobile number in the bank account, you can do a re-KYC and give a new number. Where is the problem? And for that, I hold government regulators responsible, not the society. Society, beyond a point, cannot protect itself. And that is why we have governments, we have regulators, we have police and response mechanisms. We also have to hold banks and other institutions responsible. Ultimately, money is going from one bank account to another, and technically they are KYC verified accounts. So that is problem of mule accounts or problem of fake accounts is also for the banks to solve. You only cannot hold government responsible for it. You do a transaction of 20,000 rupees in a credit card, you will get a call that, madam, is it you doing the transaction? You need to confirm it. But despite of that, from a mule account, a person is able to withdraw 15 lakhs. So somewhere it hints towards the connivance of certain government and banking employees, response and apathy towards regulator, and a lack of understanding from the government's perspective at the size and scale of such scams and the response which is required.
Despite India's status as a global digital hub, it finds itself increasingly susceptible to data breaches threatening individual privacy and institutional integrity. PwC survey on data privacy says that data breaches in India reached an all-time high of rupees 19.5 crore in just first 6 months of 2024.
Our society has become so comfortable and convenient in randomly giving our email IDs and mobile numbers to every restaurant, shopping mall, plaza. You need a bill, you need a coffee, people are asking for your email ID and mobile number, and we are happily giving it. Without any form being signed that you will not give it, further give it to someone for what purpose is it taken. So your email IDs and mobile numbers are available in wholesale. And then these data leaks from different portals which are now available in a online in wholesale mechanism, whereby paying 15,000-20,000 rupees, you are able to obtain data of 50-60 crore people. So you connect these two isolated database hacks and leaks and the data given by you. These things are available on footpath in CDs that you can buy data of 80 crore people, their addresses, their email IDs and mobile numbers are leaked to WhatsApp bank accounts. So we are creating basically a society sitting on a volcano. The best thing is that stop distributing your mobile numbers and email IDs to random people. One, according to your daily usage. Just in case you want to do a shopping of 50,000 rupees someday in exceptional cases, just increase the limit. All this can be done by online banking or in the app immediately. If you're paranoid like us, I would strongly suggest that just open one bank account which has net banking, QR code and mobile banking enabled, and disable net banking from all others. People are still aware of it. They have ignorance. It is not indifference. People don't care. You see, if a bank loses 50-60 crores, it's a headline next day. If a rich person money, you are able to contact some DCP, some joint CP. But if a poor farmer in a village loses 5,000 rupees, which might be his year's saving, or 50,000 rupees, which is our life savings for a marriage of a children, nobody is bothered to even register this complaint, forget about investigation. And we have simply forgotten the rural people who are standing at the last leg of society, that they are also equal stakeholders in our digital journey. And if they lose the confidence in this digital infrastructure, this whole objective of social inclusion, rural people in our digital journey will completely collapse. And once you lose that trust me, these people will not come back.
The government should make sure that particularly the personal data is not leaked. And if anybody is found doing it with whatever intention, either maybe for commercial purposes or with malicious purposes, they must be met with a stringent punishment as well as fine. In the garb of asking for your KYC, you don't know whether it is a genuine bank person who is asking it. If the bank is doing it, can be given across the table also. The situation is certainly serious.
One way could be to strengthen our search. Another would be, I think, to do away with this multiple bodies without accountability and have one single consolidated body with more authority and accountability, I would say. The more hands creates more confusion. So we need one pair of hands, but safe pair of hands.
The Cybercrime Coordination Center has projected that Indians are likely to lose rupees 1.2 lakh crore over the next year due to cyber frauds. If not addressed, cybercrime can cripple economy, endanger the country's stability, and have negative social impact. Thank you for watching Checks and Balances.